Hey, what's going on, guys? So, I know what you're thinking. Whoa, 2 videos in a row? This is insane. Well, to be fair, the video yesterday was more of complimentary, as I just saw that Pokemon trailer and had to respond. And as you could see, quite positive feedback. But anyways, today we're going to be looking at the Temtem starter evolutions. We're specifically going to be looking at the 3 main starters, being Crystal, Maisie, and Hauchik. But we'll be saving the 4th starter for another video, and that's right, yes, there is a 4th starter, so you're going to have to hit that subscribe button if you want more details on that. Anyways, so I'm here on the Temtem Wiki, and there's a list of all the known Temtem thus far based on the alpha. Now, I just want everyone to keep in mind that some of the pictures don't necessarily do the Temtem justice, and I'll try to get gameplay footage of each one if I can. I'm going to try to scour the internet for it, but just keep that in mind that some of the images don't make the Temtem look as great as they do in battle. I remember seeing a few Temtem and not liking their designs until I actually saw them in game. Also, a quick note. We don't have the final evolutions for the starters to work with just yet, so we have the middle forms. We can get sort of an idea of what they're going to look like based on what their middle forms look like, but anyway, without further ado, let's begin. First up's going to be Crystal, the Crystal type starter, if that wasn't obvious. And I figured we can go through this in this video as well. So each Temtem has a Luma form, which is basically the Temtem equivalent of a shiny form. So this is Crystal's regular form, and this is its Luma. We're going to be looking at each Luma form for every Temtem as well. I'll just kind of have that in the background while I'm speaking, the different variants of each Temtem. Crystal evolves into Xorrunt at level 30 in the alpha, so this may change moving forward because 30 is a pretty late level for a starter to evolve. It could likely be because the third forms weren't available, so it's easier just to make the second forms evolve late, so it sort of prolongs the usefulness of each Tem. That's what I'm assuming. So it keeps its monocrystal typing. Its traits or abilities, that's basically the same thing I'm assuming, are called Mirroring and Provident, both of which the wiki does not have any info on yet. So we'll have to stay tuned for some explanations on that. I'm assuming when the early access comes out, we're going to get more info regarding each of the abilities and whatnot. And it yields 3 defense TVs, which are basically EVs, which is interesting because usually a second form is 2 and a third form is 3. The first forms all yield 2, so this could change after the alpha comes out, or it could stay the same because, as we know, the Temtem can hold 1,000 TVs, whereas Pokemon hold 510 EVs. It's about 120 centimeters tall, or 47 inches, so that's about 4 feet, and it's 330 pounds. Its appearance and personality description reads, Xorrunt are known to evolve from Crystal in the wild as a result of exposure to harsh environmental conditions of Tuckma. They extract nutrients from the chemical interactions of metamorphic rocks and volcanic ashes. I like his design as it maintains the turtle aesthetic and essentially explodes with more crystals, and I really like the spiky crystal shell as it makes it look like really sturdy. I like that it's still on 4 legs, which is nice. I hope it remains like that because I've been itching for a starter creature that is 4-legged for quite a while. If we take a look at its base stats, we can see that the main focus of this Tem is defense, followed by attack, then HP. It does have a base stat total of 402, but keep in mind that a Pokemon like Combuskin has a total of 405, but doesn't have a stamina stat to make that total higher. Now, that could be a result of the fact that there are more TVs to give to and IVs to give to each Tem, so it could end up evening out. That's my guess, but I'm not 100% sure. I'm not sure how the calculations would mesh, like at level 100 or whatever. I'm guessing that the Crystal type is going to share the same sort of physical attack and physical defense trait of that of the Rock type. Generally higher defense and attack, lower special attack, special defense. So next up is Maisie, our melee starter, which evolves to Baboon at level 29, and it keeps its monotyping and is based off of, well, a baboon, if that wasn't obvious. Its traits are brawny and warm-blooded. Again, we'll do a video exploring Temtem traits in the future, so make sure to subscribe. And its TV yield is 3 attack. It's roughly 5'2" and about 112 pounds. In other words, it's about the same size as my wife. Too bad I'm not a furry, or this would be perfect. Its appearance and personality description reads, Baboon are evolved street-fighting Temtem, very popular in Lochburg, where they are often employed by pub bouncers. Although naturally good-tempered, they are as fierce as their hot-headed tamers. Its picture doesn't give us a whole lot to work with, but it does appear to take up where Maisie's design left off. We don't have the whole body, so that's the only issue. So if I do end up finding some gameplay footage of it, it'll be running right now. But its hair is longer as well as its face. It's decided to open its eyes, and it got these shoulder things. Overall, it looks pretty solid. Again, I wish I could see the whole body while I'm scripting this. I am getting kind of like that Sun Wukong sort of Chimchar line kind of vibe, which I really like because Chimchar is one of my favorite starters. Its base stat total is 402. This is definitely the beginning of a physical sweeper based on the stat spread here. I'm sure that its final evolution will probably pump more into attack and speed, judging by what we have here. Okay, so our third starter is HeroVoltsy, and it's the mental type Temtem starter. It evolves into Tental, which honestly kind of looks like a more angstier, more adolescent, more kind of squiddy version of its pre-evolution. I guess the name Tental is probably from Tentacle. Its traits are Water Affinity and Avenger. And again, I can't wait to get more info about these because Water Affinity makes it sound like it has some sort of water, either reduce damage or water absorb type ability. And Avenger kind of reminds me of the Retaliate attack in Pokemon. So maybe it's something similar to that, where if you knocked out one of its foes, it does extra damage. Or something. I don't know. It yields 2 special attack TVs, which is odd because the other 2 middle forms yield 3. So that's kind of interesting. I'm not sure why that is. It's roughly 5 foot 3 inches tall and weighs roughly 128 pounds. Its appearance and personality description reads: HeroVoltsy eventually evolves into the more mature Tental, shrewder creatures whose writhing tentacles serve as apt metaphors for their ever-twisting sublime minds. I'm not 100% sure about this design. Granted, we can't get the whole picture from here, but I've never been too crazy about the recent trend of starter humanoid creatures, and I find this one to be a little too human looking for my liking. I still think it's a good design, but probably just not in my taste, especially compared to the other 2. As you can see, its hair is longer and spread out, again, into tentacles. It sort of looks like a slicked lion's mane. And it's grown more green spots around its body and hair, as well as this dark green collar around its neck. Its base stat total is 403 and seems to be a high-speed special sweeper. It looks like it's shaping up to sort of be the Alakazam of Temtem when it evolves, I'm assuming. Overall, I like where each starter is headed, even if I said a minute ago that HeroVoltsy was kind of like the black sheep of the bunch in my eyes. In regards to Pokemon, it's been a while since I've actually liked more than one of the starters of any given generation, so that's good in and of itself. After seeing this, it's going to be really tough for me to decide between Maisie and Crystal, but I still like how HeroVoltsy is looking as well. Just, it's more of a Maisie versus Crystal thing. I think I'm going for the green guy, but based on what I've heard, apparently he's going to be catchable because the early access is going to include the mines, which you can catch him in, so I might go with Maisie. We'll see. So before I go, I will be participating in the stress test tomorrow. I was thinking about going live, but realistically, I'd be lucky to have any live viewers with my current sub count, and I'm actually not even going to be home, so it wouldn't have worked out anyway. I'm going to be at my brother's house, who lives a couple hours away. So we're going to do some off-the-cuff commentary and sort of play the game for the duration of the stress test, and I'll end up uploading that raw footage for everyone to check out. And then I could have that the footage from there to have for my own videos, so I can finally have my own gameplay playing in the background when I'm talking. So that's going to be nice too. I just want to say thank you so much for Crema Games for the stress test key, and I look forward to playing tomorrow. So I want to know which starter you're leaning towards and whether or not it differs now that you've seen the second forms. Let me know in the comments below. And of course, for more Temtem related content, make sure to hit like, subscribe, follow me on Twitter at GymLeaderEd. And until next time, peace.